So I want to be able to share a little bit about my first fuel stop in the Run for the Wall 2023 Central Route. This is in Kentucky, and we just got off of I-64, and this was, like I said, this was our first fuel stop. And I had some anxiety about the fuel stops because I had no clue how we were supposed to do this. There really wasn't a lot went over other than just make sure your highway pegs are up, and that you filled side by side, that you had your fuel cap off before you got to the pump, or you were just as quick as you could. And so we run side by side. We try to stay about a second off of the bike in front of us. And then over here on the right, this is the first person that I had seen outside of the overpasses. He's coming up right here on the right. This guy here all by himself, just standing there saluting us as I went by. Seen he had a rider's vest on, but he wasn't with our group, and so it was just probably from the local chapter there in supporting us as we went through. And so here we are. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pull into the fuel station. Again, I had no clue what I was going to do, and I was just going to follow in front of the guy in front of me because I knew he had already fueled up a couple times. And so we get into the station here, and the staging crew's already here, and the fuel crew, but you're not told where to go other than just follow the people in front of you. So it's you don't have specific lines or anything like that. You just find a hole and fill it up. So again, I was a little apprehensive about where to go, so I'm just following in front of the guy in front of me. But what they want you to do is they want you to be able to just fill in a hole and just try to get through as quick as possible. They're going to fuel 2 people side by side to a pump, and here you see the black Harley there to the right. That's getting off. Monica, you're not supposed to get off. Get back on the bike. This isn't Circle A. So I think she might have got told to get back on, but people don't need to be walking around there. I think she was told. So again, what we're going to do is we're just going to pull up to the pumps, and then they will hand the fuel nozzle over, and you fill yourself up and go. Here's kind of a look around. You see I'm kind of towards the back because everybody had spread out so far, but you can see how many bikes can be fueled at one time. So these stops were already paid for, so we didn't have to pay for anything. But typically in the other areas, they want you to be prepared to have denominations of 5. So you're going to be paying $5, $10, $15 for a fuel stop. We never went more than 117 miles was the longest that we ever went on a stretch of riding, and I would guess to say that was probably the longest. Typically it's under 100 miles, so you might use 3 gallons, depends on your bike and how you're riding, 2 or 3 gallons of gas. I run a lot higher gear, or lower gear, I'm sorry, so I may have burned a little bit more fuel than I normally would just on a regular ride, just because I'm trying to not hit my brakes, and I'm trying to engine brake. So I did run a little bit lower gear than I would. Like I said, might have used a little bit more fuel. But anyway, we're at about the 4.5 minute mark. I'm getting close. I'm watching, trying to see what I'm supposed to do. And I would say probably everybody got through this in, I would say absolutely less than 10 minutes. Probably more along the 7-8 minute mark. Everybody was through and fueled. And so over to the right there, you see that maroon colored Harley about 3 rows over. That's Chad and Charlene Lewis. That's the commander of the American Legion, Post 84, Marengo, and his wife. And they had went on this ride, I think in 2017, 18, prior to COVID, and one of the largest runs that there had been. So he was my go-to as far as what to expect. And you see him right over there to the right, getting ready for their field stop. So that's a little, wish I had